Hello everyone, we're back with the F150, the 2000. It's been struggling a little bit with fuel. It's been running lean, struggling uphill, telltale signs of a weakening fuel pump. So today, I'm going to drop the tank and replace the fuel pump. Ordered one, just ordered an assembly to do the whole assembly. And it has some assembly required, it just put the float on, which I'll take the plastic off when I get ready to put it in. But just went ahead and got this, and it should be a full swap. It should just be a bolt-in. I'm hoping this gasket seals, unlike the last full assembly I got for the Kia. But the Pontiac that never seems to get a video, the Sunfire, we put one in it and it sealed up just fine. So, but I've got a truck here. I did the 2x6 trick. I took two 2x6s and stacked them and pulled up on it to give a little bit more clearance. And you don't really want to put it on ramps or jack it up, because you want that tank as low as you can get and still work. So, because you got to put jacks under it and drop it slowly. I've got a scissor jack and a yellow jack that's kind of quit being a jack. It's not sealing anymore. I've messed with it. I've determined that I think the cylinder is leaking, so it's near the end of its life. But I put the scissor jack on the end that doesn't have a support. I put the yellow jack on the end that does have a support, so I can jack it up, take the last strap off, loosen the strap first and take it all the way off, and then it should release, and the end that holds it should hold it up, because it's the push-in end. And you'll see it underneath where what I'm talking about, the retention plate. Let's see, that. Size 13, the bolts. Yesterday, when I was prepping all this, I sprayed them down with penetrating oil, so that hopefully they won't snap off when I try to take them off. They are 13 millimeter, and you'll need either a really long extension or a couple of extensions and a long bolt to get to it good. I'm hoping not to have to use the breaker bar, but I do have a breaker bar with me, so I don't break sockets because I'm running out of sockets. And let's see, anything else with this one? I got that. Those are the main ones, so I'll get to removing the tank, I guess. And do remember, please like, subscribe, comment, share with people, because if you like the content, or if you know someone that this would be great torture for, either one's great. But it greatly helps the channel. That's where I was talking about. I have it jacked up on the high end. You'll see the little black piece of steel down there at the end. That is a retainer. That's actually what it goes down into. And there's the jack failing to stay up. Even though I've added oil and tried to reseal it, yeah, I think that cheap thing's finally worn out. Can't complain, it's 20 years old and it's been used heavily. I will try to set it so this will film me working on it. Oh, let's see if I can get that set so you can see something. Hopefully you get some line of sight there. I'll start on the far one. And like I said, hopefully these will come off easily. And I'm not going to take the far one all the way out to start with, because I want it to be able to retain. You do not want your face directly under it, because it's probably going to drop stuff. And that worked. That's loosened. I know I've got an arm in the way, but this one maybe I won't have an arm in the way if you can actually see it. And there's retention clips these go into. Of course, that's one to move around and stuff dropping down. So eye protection is recommended. Of course, I left mine up at the house. Do as I say, not as I do. because you really should be wearing safety glasses with this. And I've got the tank as empty as I could get it. I ran it down to quarter. Well, it's on E. It's got a little bit more room to run, but it shouldn't have more than a couple gallons left in it. Okay, come on, cooperate with me here. The clip is moving around everywhere, which is aggravating. And you have to unbolt it from this side because there's retention locks on the other side. It's not a bolt, it's actually where the straps clip into. I am going to pull this down and switch these out. What order I have these extensions in, because I've got the wobble in the wrong spot. I would have rather had ones that weren't necessarily the flap ones, but they have gone missing with the ratchet that goes with them. So I don't know, my garage has been in flux. I've had some issues and I was cleaning stuff up and things have gotten moved around, and yeah, it's all in chaos right now. I was hoping to have it done before I started on this, but that didn't happen. Such as everything goes. I don't recommend denting the drive shaft. I haven't done that. I'm trying not to do that. This is a weird angle. And a very long bolt. Oh, this will probably take a whole lot less time in the final product. But there's wiring on the other side. The pump basically comes in here, and I will, once I get it down, I'll try to pull this tank out. At that point I may actually have to jack the truck up. I don't know if I have enough room to slide the tank out, but that's easy enough. Alright, let's see if this is loose enough. I can get this out now. There we go. And that comes out, and that drops down and out of the way. And this side's supported, like I said, so there's no problems, no falling off, no nothing like that. And now I've got to do the other side, which is going to be interesting with the jack that's not being a jack. This is why I'm normally not the camera guy, but there's 5 other things going on at the same time, so I'm by myself. And it's supposed to rain, so I couldn't wait until everybody was free. And I am using boards to protect the tank, because you do not want to put a hole in the tank. You don't really want to put a dent in the tank. This jack is done. If you want to see me try to rebuild an old cheap jack, let me know and I might do that. Dismantle this and see if I can replace the seals and the O-ring so it'll stay up. I replaced all the ones I could get to and it didn't make a difference. Get that up, and now let's see if I can keep that up while I'm doing this and everything else, and hopefully you've got a line of sight there. I can't see. This stuff I'll toss that over there because I don't need either one of these at this point. There goes the pump. The jack is giving up already. So it's put this thing out a few times again. Hopefully that's not blocking your view. probably is. This is probably not usable, but I'm doing it anyways. Oh, come on. Now I gotta find the bolt again. Definitely wear safety glasses. It makes your life a lot easier. I'm viewing it from back here, the other side of the drive shaft. I gotta do the jack. Do jack 1, 2, 3. Put that back where it belongs. That'll help get the stress off the bolt. I should have used the DeWalt after it got started and used the air wrench after I broke it loose, because it would have been fine. I think if I could use it from the get-go with an extension. Well, the electric air wrench. Jack. 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 Wrench, wrench, wrench. Be easier without the muffler in the way. Not saying to remove the muffler, just saying easier without the muffler in the way. There we go. All the gravel. You do not have to put the gravel back under the straps, I promise you that. Or the dust. But that takes care of that. I'll try to keep the bolts with the ones they came out of. And then that's going to let itself down. And I'll see if I can work this jack from back here. There we go. Now I'm going to use the jacks to slowly lower the tank. Try to anyways, if I can, from this side, which is going to be interesting. Luckily, that's pretty, like I said, I've got it pretty empty, so I should be able to slowly, let's pull this, slowly lower this side. The other side's lowering itself. Let's see if I can get this back under the square. There we go. Because I need to slide this way. You want to slide it forward. Get it out of that cradle. Or maybe it's not a cradle. How are you sliding that way now? Everything but going down. Okay. There's another hold point apparently, and I'm not happy with that. Oh, get this string back up. Dang it. I forgot to unhook the filler spout. That's probably what's holding it. Hello.
Hi.
I've got a jack that no longer stays up, and a filler spout I forgot to unhook before I took the brackets out.
Good job.
So I'm having technical difficulties. There we go. Using a jack for not a jack. Because it doesn't work. Alright, let's stop for a moment. There we go, now it's filming. Technical difficulties. Filler connector is right in there. It's not this first clip, but it's the second clip back there over the rail. I'm gonna loosen it and try to push that off. See if I can set this on the tire. Nope, I can't. So try to figure out where I can set you so you can see this transaction. It's gonna be easier said than done. There we go. I'm gonna use this. Yeah, I may have to get the... Well, I am gonna need a new clamp, that's for sure. That's one way to take it off. So I think I was in need of a new hose clamp anyways. Considering that just snapped right in two real quick. That was about done. Let's see if I can push this off now. I have a feeling I'll probably be getting a new filler line because this one's a little squishy. And it might be okay. It's coming loose. It hasn't torn. Breaking it loose at half the fight. Trying not to get any dirt or anything into the... That's just a bracket to protect the filler line. Huh. I don't know if it actually holds anything. And I got to do this line too, because that's the vent line. Let's get this off too, which this is not feeling any better quality, so it's probably going to snap right off too. This one's just not going to accept the big screwdriver, so I'll have to get something else for that. Okay, now I'm going to try to pull this back a little bit more. See if you can see where I'm working right there. I'm trying to push this line off, and there's no way for me to get a hand behind it, so I'm trying to push it off, and that's going not so well. There it goes. Now it's starting to move. Good grief. There we go. It's getting there. Okay, that's off. That one's off. Now I got to get this one off. Well, what size are you? You're not 3/8. If you're not 3/8, there you are 3/8. I just can't get you on because of this clip. No, you're not 3/8. You're not 8mm. Nope, nope, you are 8mm. Okay. Are we filming? Yeah, we're filming. So, yep, it's 8mm. I was right the first time. And now I gotta get the ratchet, which is over there. This ratchet's far away. That's what tools are for. Don't worry, I just hit my head. Nothing important. That's not working either. Completely rounded. As always, I always end up with something that's more problematic than it's supposed to be. And of course, the one that was actually turning just popped off. This one that won't turn at all, of course, won't just pop. You're completely rounded off, so that's no good. And you will not turn at all. I think I just broke the bolt trying to get it to turn. I did just break the bolt trying to get it to turn. Okay, let's try this again. Now, where'd I put the, well, leave them up on top of the truck. Gonna have to cut this off. because that bolt is not going to move. I've rounded it off and I chipped off a piece of the screw head, so it's just not going to move, so I'm going to have to try to get in there and get it off. I like how the one side rusted through, the strap rusted through, and on this side the bolts rusted out, but the strap is fine. This kind of stuff, that's why when I do repairs, it always seems to take forever, because I always run into some oddball thing. It's like, what do you mean it didn't come? It wouldn't come off. I have a busted bolt and a hose clamp, so I can't get the hose clamp off. This hose clamp was rusted through, so it just popped. The other side, the bolt's rusted through, but the hose clamp's solid. There we go. I just got it to move.
Sweet.
Finally, fight with it enough. Although I don't know whether it's tightening or loosening. Actually, I think it may just be spinning free. So, neither. Yep, it's just spinning free. It finally stripped the line inside of it.
That means you can wrench it clean, right?
Nope, it means it's just going to be stuck where it's at. There, I got it loose enough I can get it off the hose.
Awesome.
So now I just got to push this off, which this hose is tearing. I'm probably going to replace it. But now that I got everything turned around the other way, now I got to work the jacks again. Now I got to get back on the other side. Okay, now let's try this again with the jack that's not really a jack anymore. Okay, of course that moves that way. That wasn't intended, and I do not like that being there. I'll put that there. Put this back over. There we go. That's gonna lower itself slowly anyways. And I gotta lower this slowly. No, wrong way. And I've got to get back to the other side so I can disconnect wires. Oh, swing it that way so I can drop it a little bit more if I need to. Well, drop it a little bit more anyways. Break those cables, because I've got cables to disconnect up there, which I can get to over here. That side, gonna drop slowly on its own. And I've got to disconnect. So it's all up here on top. I see two more things running in back there, and I don't really know what are. This is a whole lot of easier with the bed off, but that's not as easy as it sounds. Let's try turning the jack around so I can slowly drop this stuff. Lower. Slowly lower. Because I don't want to strain anything. Okay. And just got a clip. Let's see, do I have? I've got play. That one's slowly lowering itself. I need a stop point on that. Okay, and these are going to be the same kind of clamps you had for the fuel line. lock clamps. So it should release, slide that down and push forward, and it should unlock. Which I'm working blind too, so I'm doing it all by feel. You might be able to see it better than I can actually. Let me hold the camera up. Push them in like that. Push it forward. That unlocks it. Then there's a release on the inside that I'm going to have to get from the other side, of course. But I'm going to try to get this without pliers, which is going to be interesting. Now, I'm going to do that. Pull this back out. Slide these out of the way, just like that. I hope you saw that. And on this one, you'll see better. I gotta push this tank that way a little bit. And then you... This one I'm not going to be able to do that with because it's the board in the way. Yeah, this one's not going to do that. But you're supposed to be able to twist it one way or another. Like this one twists that way, so the board's going to stop me. But I'll just slide that back and that'll be good enough. It's clear the floor, clear the tank. So those lines have to come out. I'm going to be using this tool and these pliers. Hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Which is better than I can say for what I'm doing, because I can't see what I'm doing. If I could get this fuel line off, this is a rotten fuel line too, I don't even know where it's going to. That I may end up having to replace anyways. Yes, I'm using my fingers as pliers because they're better than the pliers I have. There we go. That pushed it back far enough I could get it off of that. Now I can hopefully get this disconnected. This rubber line's been on here so long it does not want to come off. There we go. Got that off. Now I gotta try to get these hard lines off with this tool. There's like the fuel filter. Easier said than done. Let's see if I get a little lift on this. Back up. Scissor jack. Lift this back up just a little bit. Take some tension off of that, a little extra tension off of that. If that helps any. I may have the wrong size. I'm gonna bring the whole toolkit out here, I think, because I think I need a different size. Alright, I'm going to get the toolkit because the universal is not working. Okay. Let's see. It's probably going to take maybe one of these. No. Those are bigger. So maybe one of these. It's going to take something from here. I just got to figure out what. To release those pressure clamps. Take you up a little bit more, but I can't take you up too much because then I won't be able to get my hand in there. Let's try a smaller one. That's going to be second to smallest. Let's try that. Let's try something. Oh, okay. I think I have a bigger one for that side and a smaller one for this side, so this should be the right size for this one. It has the smaller return. Come on, come on, come off. No way it's that one. Yeah, definitely not that one. Joys of figuring out what size. I never have good luck with pressure lines. Let's see if I can get this band out of the way. Yes, I can. So at least that makes that out of the way. Makes it a little easier. Let's see if I can get this off without releasing those, because I cannot see what I'm doing and I can't really reach in there. I'm hoping they're 8mm. And they are. They're 8mm. Okay. The bolts on top are 8mm. So that's what's holding it in. And I may end up having to take it out because I can't get an angle where I can get the hard lines, the pressure lines to release. I can't push on it enough to release it and get the tool in sufficiently to release them. So I may end up having to unbolt it. I'm also running out of power, so I don't know how much longer I'm going to be filming. But I'll see what I can do. But it is 8mm. Alright, well, I managed, the other camera died, managed to get that fuel line released. The pressure line, the feed out line, is an in-between size. So you have to use the same release you use for the return line on it, plus a small flat screwdriver to release the last pin, because it can only get 3 pins with the release. I'm sure there's a Ford kit that would probably be the perfect sizes. Before I said just use a universal. If you're working on Fords, I say get the Ford kit. Otherwise, use a universal and have some jeweler size screwdrivers, flat screwdrivers. But like this. Because I had to use that along with this one to make it big enough to get all the clips. And there's 4 pins inside that line that holds it on.
Now, all we saw was your thumb. We didn't actually see the piece there that he was holding up against that. That there. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. But it's an in-between size. And I'm sure it's a particular size. It's just not in the kit I've got. So.
Sometimes cheap kits don't work, I guess.
Well, it still worked. I just had to compromise because the next one up, which I'll show you, looks like this. Ow, this screwdriver keeps stabbing me in the neck. And it was too big. It made for an even bigger line. So it would go on and then it wouldn't go in far enough to release the pins. So that's where my hang up was on that. Now I'm just trying to release the plug, which is a push pin. You push the pin in and pull the line out. Well, I can't get both hands up there, so I'm going to have to use the screwdriver and pull.
Could you
Maybe
grab the end of it? That's all you have to do. Grab the handle.
But it's right up there. It's this one. And it's got a little tab right there. You got to push in and then pull out. So, and like I said, I can't get both hands up there, so I'm going to use a screwdriver. And then I've unhooked this line. You got all kinds of vent lines and everything else going in. These two are on. This is the two returns for the fuel I unhooked up here. And I have another power relay right there that I've got to figure out how it's plugged in. That I've got to remove, and then I can pull the tank out. So, oh, here you go.
Alrighty.
I'll get one for the fuel first. Like I said, it's just a push and pull. It's just at a weird angle, and I can't do it. My hands are too big. What I ended up doing was, you have an opening on this side for the little hook. I was pushing it in there, pushed the wire further in, pushed it in, then pulled it out. It released the hook, and you could do it. It has a tab, but I couldn't push the tab down far enough with my fat finger to release it, so I had to get creative. Now I've got the one on top I've got to figure out how to unhook, which is going to be fun, but I've got extra line so I can lower this more. All right. But I did this before, pull the jack out, sit down, drop that angle. Now I can get to this wire, maybe enough to see how it's connected. That's the hard part. You can tell this was all done, put together with the bed knot on. Okay, how do I? I've still got a lot of wire, so I'm going to drop that down more. Just get that board out, and I can set this board under this side, lift it, drop down, set this board under that side, and then pull this jack out. I don't recommend setting your finger between the board and the fuel tank. This thing's pretty empty, so it's not horribly heavy, but that still wasn't pleasant. And once again, if you wanted to see me try to rebuild this jack, just put some comments in the video. Otherwise, it's going to be scrap metal. So I wasn't interested in flushing this tank out, cleaning this fuel tank out. I could just drop it and work on it, because there's enough wire, but I need to pull it and I need to get new lines because the filler lines and vent lines are rotten. So I need to pull them and replace them, and that's easier with it not down here. Alright, well, there's going to be a halfway point. As I mentioned in the last video, I managed to injure myself. I'm just finally healed up enough. I'm not walking with a cane, so I'm getting there. But the tank is out. Had to fight with this plug. We couldn't get video of it. There's supposed to be, it had a point where you're supposed to put a piece of something in there to push a pin down. Instead of pushing down, it was a separate white piece of plastic that just disintegrated when I finally got it to release. So now I'm going to have to figure out how to take this plug to stay plugged. This is your pressure sensor. So, and I have capped everything, put towels, and, butyl and stuff, because I'm having to clean all this. Ended up with a lot of flaky rust, and it's still solid, but if I don't do something about it, it won't be solid in a few years. So I've started cleaning and degreasing. I've got to sand and degrease again, clean it again, and then paint it. I got some rust stabilizer primer that's supposed to stabilize and stop it from rusting more. I'll spray it down with that, then spray a coat of automotive, supposed to be gasoline resistant paint, and then I'll finish changing the pump assembly and put it back in the truck.
Yeah.
But that's going to be a later video. Probably going to be a week or so before I can get to that, so we'll have that video out once it's done, and I don't know what will be in between. But until then, or till the next video, have a good one.